and feeling more confident, and they're open to actually date and receive that sort of love in their lives, I feel like there's definitely a good possibility that this person will pop up into your reality this week. And if he doesn't, or she, excuse me, if he or she doesn't pop up this week, I do feel like you're going to have signs. So I feel like it'll be a feeling and and you might just see some signs that you're on the right track, that this type of relationship is coming your way. So definitely get out there and make sure you're enjoying your life, because that has a lot to do with it. Now, for those of you who are in love with love, well, unless you're open to actually receiving love, I feel like this week you can expect to find yourself still trying to maneuver around your fears and working through maybe some insecurities. I feel like maybe they will come to the forefront where you realize all of a sudden, oh my God, I'm not going out and meeting new people or doing things because I'm too worried about, you know, what people will think about my arms, or, you know, just something like that. I feel like you're going to realize what it is that is keeping you limited and keeping you stuck at home, instead of actually getting out there and shaking it up and, you know, having fun and just meeting all sorts of new people and eventually finding the love that you're wanting. Let's see, finances. This week, I feel some of you will be evaluating your finances and realize that you're rich in other ways besides just money. I feel like you'll realize, you know what, I'm abundant in my health, in my family, and I just feel like you'll be in a space of appreciation and will really kind of, again, have a realization that there's more to life than just material things. Now, for some of you, I feel like money matters will be improving. You're shifting into, some of you are shifting into a new financial cycle that will continue to grow. So work hard, you will be rewarded, and sharing is key too. Now, sharing doesn't mean you give your last penny or all of the clothes off of your back. Sharing means that you're able to, you know, if you got an extra couple bucks and you can help somebody out, then help them out, because when you give, you receive. So just kind of remember that, and make sure when you do decide to share or give, that you're giving from a space of love and not because you're expecting to receive something in return. It won't work in your favor. This week, some of you, I feel like, are actually going to go out and seek financial advice from a professional to help you plan for your future, to help you, you know, whether you're planning for the future to just you save up money for something, or for a house, or for retirement. I do feel like some of you may be just looking to help create a budget and manage your money better. And then there's those of you that I feel like are really going to seek out investments, whether it's investments in properties or investments in, you know, stock market or bonds or something. I feel like that will be happening for some of you. For all of you, this is not the week to gamble with your money. So, you know, I feel like the energy just doesn't feel good for it. I feel like if you gamble, most likely it's not going to pay off. And even something as simple as scratch-offs. Don't waste your money. Let's see what next week looks like. And it's definitely not the week to take chances on doing anything unusual, like investing in unusual bonds and stocks and, you know, that sort of market thing. So just pay attention, and, you know, what's another week to make investments. So be smart about it. Let's see, health. I feel some of you will be switching up your typical health routine this week, especially those of you that are rigid, those of you that are like stuck in this routine where you're completely inflexible, like you do the same routine every morning when it comes to your health, or you're doing the same exercising, or like you have to go to the gym, or whatever. So those of you that are rigid in your approach, I feel like there will be some switching it up, like you're going to be open to trying a different way or incorporating something new, or and if you don't, I feel like that's going to be forced upon you. So I feel like if you're not open to switching things up, you might find yourself with a cold or something, or a hurt back, and you'll be on the couch, which will totally shake up your routine. Let's see. Oh, some of you that have had health challenges for a while, I feel like you guys might actually go out and try something esoteric. So I feel like maybe you're going to try some sort of, you know, healing massage or acupuncture or energy work, or maybe just even go get another second opinion. So again, like if you've been feeling off for a while, again, if it's something serious, go to the doctor. But if you just feel like you've had a kink in your neck, and, you know, go get a massage, work that out. Some of you will be actually very conscious of your diet all of a sudden, I feel. So I feel like some of you will be cutting back on processed foods and start a healthier diet. Others, I feel, are going to decide they're cutting back on substances. So to me, that feels like some of you might decide you're going to quit smoking or cut back on smoking. Some of you might decide you're going to not do drugs. Some of you might decide to cut back on alcohol. So, you know, again, there's a switch up in what you're doing. And then there's those of you that will be just feeling full of vitality and hope and optimism about the future. And I do feel all of you will become more aware of your thoughts and whether they're positive or negative. So if you catch yourself thinking negatively, just stop, catch your breath, and try to replace the negative thoughts with some positive thoughts. I feel like, you know, again, this week is a lot about awareness. Spirituality, a group of you will be feeling very peaceful and happy. Your self-esteem will be higher than normal, and some of you will actually mentor or share some spiritual insights that you've learned with others this week. Some of you will be the ones that are actually reaching out for spiritual insight to figure out where to begin on actually benefiting from self-realization and self-actualization through meditation and things like that. So that wraps up this week's predictions. I hope everyone has a great week ahead. I hope with a little forewarning you can navigate the week a little better, and be patient with yourself and others. And if anything comes up for you, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. As usual, I have gone over. I only have 5 minutes left, so I'm not going to do the moment of Zen. And for a crossed over loved one, I'm getting the name Bob. I am not certain if Bob is the person, you know, Bob is trying to reach out to someone, or he's trying to reach out to Bob, but this is a male, and he is, I would say, medium height. He's round. He kind of reminds me of maybe, I would say like a solid. He's a solid individual. He has a balding on top, or short around, you know, just hair around the sides, and he, you know, it's weird. He kind of reminds me of Danny DeVito, but taller and, you know, a little larger. But he feels like he really was into pasta for sure, and spaghetti, and his message is that he's been leaving signs. He's been leaving signs in your home, and I feel like he's just been in all the rooms in the house. And so if you've been having weird experiences in your house, like, I feel like he's saying he's been doing a little bit of everything, like hiding stuff, lights flickering, maybe weird noises. I feel like he's been touching people at night while they're sleeping, or even sometimes like maybe like a feeling of a cold spot. And I even feel like he's had the TV maybe pop up, and he's just trying to let you know he's around and he's not going anywhere. And he's also saying sorry. I'm not sure what he's apologizing for. He's not really getting into detail, but he is apologizing. And he says, you know, I never really said I love you, but I love you. And that's the extent of his message. So I hope that makes sense to someone. I really do. And if it does, it would be awesome if you let me know. Just to validate it a little bit, that would be fantastic. So I only have 2 minutes left, so I feel like we should do a moment of Zen really quickly so that we can open up ourselves with our guides to help us basically prepare for the week ahead, and that we can just really have them help us navigate for our highest good. So let's begin by closing your eyes, open your palms, tell yourself you're open to receive, take a deep breath in, and then exhale, and then just breathe normally, and I'm going to send some energy, and your guides and angels will as well. All right, you can go ahead and open your eyes. That's all the time we have for tonight. I'd like to apologize to the caller that I didn't get to. I'll get better at navigating this time stuff. And, you know, thank you all for tuning in. I look forward to connecting with you next week. If you'd like to book a session with me or contact me for anything, you know, feel free to reach out to me at askRebeccaToday@gmail, or you can call or text 407-374-3133. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great week, everyone. Good night.
I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
So we were walking to school. At the corner, we waited for the traffic light.
I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really
smart,
want cheese pizza,
but
like at Luigi's.
sometimes her mind
They have
wanders.
this video game there, and Kate's got the high score. We should have a sleepover. Maybe I should pack my pajamas.
I remember saying, Laura? Laura,
I think I heard Mom say something.
the sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
When we finally got there,
She gave me a hug goodbye.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope I
bad
don't
day
have another bad day
at
at
school
school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free online resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Here you'll get personalized recommendations, practical tips, daily access to experts, and more. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org.
Hi, I'm Faye, and thanks for watching Moonstruck. And now, back to A1R on the air, Psychic Talk Radio, now on Moonstruck TV, enlightening television.
hello everyone. It's Gail Moffat, and it's a very warm welcome to you all that are listening. Now, I want to talk about a couple of things, but before I start talking about, or what I want to talk about, is I want to just say that you can, if you want, I know sometimes a lot of people want to find me. Now, please find me on Facebook, which is Gail Moffat, spiritualist, medium and teacher, and you can also find me on my website, which is gailmoffat.com, and so that's all very exciting. Now, something else that's very exciting, I'm going to be doing a theatre event in North Carolina on the 5th of July, and that will be from 7 till 9 in St. James's. All the information is on my Facebook page, so do go and find it if you're interested, or if you're in that area and you're listening. Now, the thing that I would like to really talk about from a spiritual point of view is family structures. Now, family structures is quite an interesting concept, because I wonder how many of you out there would probably say, I'd never have chosen my family. Or those people that would have said, I've got the best family in the world and I wouldn't want to change them for anything. So whatever you have is right for you. And what I mean by that is that sometimes I think that our family give us the best lessons. They guide us in a way that is just absolutely incredible. You know, when you have a situation where someone in your family has caused you a lot of pain and hurt, generally, it's because they are the persons that have been enlisted to actually give you that understanding, to guide you in a way, to help you grow in your thought processes, in your spirit, and everything about you. And with family, it is generally ongoing all of your life. It's something that you can never escape from. But another member of family, which I also find quite interesting, is the ones that are invited into our family. For instance, those are the people that are perhaps husbands or wives, or girlfriends or boyfriends, and they're invited into your family. Now, maybe your family may not like your choice, or they may be more than happy with your choice, but nevertheless they become part of your family, and that's something that is quite incredible, really. But the reason why we have our family structures, which is so important, is simply we need to grow, we need to learn, and it's about having life's lessons. And boy, do our family give us the best life's lessons that you can ever imagine. And so that's all about family structures from a spiritual point of view. Now, I know that we've got some callers waiting, and I'd like to go straight to the callers. And my first caller, I believe, is waiting, and her name is Makita in North Carolina. Are you there, Makita?
Yes, ma'am. Hello. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you? Got a lovely voice.
I'm okay. Thank you.
And how can I help you this evening?
Okay. Well, I'm the type of person, I'm an open book. I'm very open and honest. I befriended this young man by the name of Darius in 2015.
Sorry, I didn't catch the name.
Darius? Yes, ma'am. And Darius and we developed a real deep friendship over a year. And we decided January to get into a relationship. I got into a little bit of legal trouble. I was on probation at the time. And I allowed him into my world because I needed another friend. Like, I needed a friend who was there. And he was there. I was in jail for about 40 days because I had to complete a term. And he cheated on me. And the way the situation played out, it was very hurtful to me. My main question is, I wanted to ask him why the situation happened, and I wanted to ask him what the situation was all about, and I'm just trying to ask him, like, why the situation was the way it was. And I'm just trying to understand, when can my healing start? Because it's a situation where I'm still in love with him. I still love him, and I still care. But he showed his attention to another woman now, and I want to know, where do I go from here?
I think this is one of the worst things to happen in life, when you have this sort of betrayal, and so I'm so sorry that you've had to go through this. Now, I'm just connecting to my guide, and his name is Arthur. He's a monk, and he's going to. I'm going to ask him what he would like to say about this. The first thing that I'm sensing about your situation is that your life has been, how can I put this, problematic for a number of years, and I feel that, and I feel that you've been. It's not just him that's let you down. I feel that many people have let you down, and you've often felt as though you haven't had the support around you that you need in your life. Would you understand that?
Yes, ma'am, and I fully do agree. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I got tears building up, because this is definitely true. A lot of people have let me down.
Yeah, and Arthur, my guide, is saying to me that in your inner soul there's a beautiful spark of light, and he's saying that you are somebody that wants to give to the world all your love, but when you do attempt to do that, then it's like you're continually knocked back. And he's saying that it's about what's important for you is to believe in yourself, because with Arthur, he can see the real you. He can see right through everything and see the real you. And he's telling me that you're a good person. And he's also telling me that you've been misunderstood, misrepresented, and had situations that have been, I suppose you could say, unethical, immoral. It's like, it's almost as though people haven't really given you the opportunity to show your real colours and show the real being of who you are. And I know that this isn't exactly answering your question, but I know that this is important for you to hear, to hear that somebody in the spirit world thinks a lot of you, despite what people around you are saying or thinking about you. And I know that this man that you were involved with, I feel that he went through a bit of a stage of confusion and not really. Are you still there? I'm not hearing you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I'm deep in listening.
Okay, good. He went through it's like he went through a state of confusion where he didn't completely appreciate what he had in you. Because if he'd appreciated what he had in you, I don't think that for one moment he would have done what he did. Because it's like I'm putting some blindfolds on him and he's not seeing the real you. And this sort of backs up what Arthur was saying, how you people don't see the real you. And it's rather a shame, and in a way I hope he's listening. Probably not, because it tends to be more women that are interested in this sort of thing. But you know, if he's listening, I know that the spirit world are saying that he never gave you a chance to see the real you and see what you were really about. And I feel there's a bit of fear around him. He got a bit scared about everything and wanted to. It's like, I want an easy life, and I feel that he felt that it was difficult to have an easy life with you. But you know, he didn't give you a chance. It's like I actually feel quite frustrated. He just didn't give you a chance, because if he'd have given you a chance, he would have had one of the deepest loves and the most special loves that any two people can have. Because there is actually a soul connection between the two of you. Now, a soul connection doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to spend the rest of your life with somebody. It just means that at some point they come into your life. But I know that there's a soul connection with him, and this is why part of the reason why it's hit you so hard. There's a soul recognition. It's like instantly I feel that you feel that this is somebody special to you, and I know with you that you try to hold back, because on some level with yourself, there's a little bit of, can I trust people? Can I, you know, there's a sort of, because you've been let down, you struggle to trust. And so I know you were quite cautious getting involved with this man, but I just feel that it's almost like he's blown something that's really good. And I really feel that, and this is what I'm getting from my guide. This is not my opinion. This is what he's saying to me. It's just he's missing out big time. And I think that I do feel with him that he regularly thinks about you, and there has been times when he's had moments of regret. But I think the problem with him is fear of insecurity in life. And I think with all that was going on with you around the time when this happened, he was insecure and fearful of how things would pan out, and did what he did. Does all that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am, because it was part of what he had told me, but the person that he ended up with, I feel like she is not good for him, and I feel it in my soul that, I'm sorry, I just feel in my heart that she turned him against me, and I don't know if I'm ever going to feel that way about another person.
Yeah, well, as I say, he's not given himself a chance to see the real you, because as Arthur has said, the real you has a beautiful spark and a beautiful light, and it's shining bright because you are a good person. I do feel that my guide has actually just said he will come back to you one day. This is not all over, and you will be very grateful for that. I feel not grateful in as much as I'm so grateful you chose to be with me, but just happy that he has come back, because I don't feel this is going to be straight away. This whole situation is going to take its time, but I do feel that he will come back to you, and over time he will see the real you that is a beautiful person. I'm so sorry that you've had to go through some tough times of late, and I will send you some healing.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? It kind of broke up when you were saying it.
What, just the last sentence, do you mean?
I only heard a bit in piece. I couldn't really hear everything, but I just knew you said something about that you said over time we'll both be happy and you'll get the chance to see the real me, and then that's when it started breaking up.
Yeah. Just don't worry, because he will see the real you, and the real you is someone quite special. But it's not going to happen overnight. It will take some time for this whole situation to play out.
Okay.
And I'm also seeing that there's a lady in this. Just before I go, and I've got another caller waiting, so I can't be long. But there is a lady in the spirit world, and I feel that this is a grandmother that is connected to you, and she's just saying to me, Gail, can you please let her know, Marquita know, that I am with her, and I'm going to support her through all of this that's happened.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's my grandmother, Hattie. That's her.
I feel that there was she's saying to me that we had a special relationship, and she's so sorry that she had to go to the spirit world, because she knows that I feel that you regularly wish that she was in your life.
Yes, she passed away when I was 2, and my mom said that my grandmother and I was inseparable, and I try so hard to just feel her, and I just honestly, and I'm so serious, I tried to overdose past week, and I felt a special presence in my room. I just didn't know who.
Yeah. I feel that it's your grandmother. She's looking after you. She wants you to be all right, and she's come through saying she's going to protect you and look after you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, Marquita, find me on Facebook, and if you want to chat anymore, my name's Gail Moffat, and it's Gail Moffat, spiritualist, spiritual medium, international British. Oh, I've changed the names. It's international British spiritual medium and teacher. So yeah, find me on Facebook. And listen, keep strong. I know you can do it, and just remember your grandmother's with you. And find me on Facebook, and I'll speak to you soon.
All right.
Thank you for calling in. Thank you. Right. Okay, I've got Judy in Saskatchewan, Canada. Have I said that right?
Yes, you did. Very well pronounced.
Oh, good. How are you, Judy?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And yourself?
Oh, not too bad. It's always a struggle because it's 1 o'clock in the morning when I have to do this radio show in England.
I can imagine it's very
I
late at
enjoy
night. So yes, I sympathize. I can understand that. It's very simple. I'm just what you see in general.
Okay, well, I'm a medium and I'm a psychic, so I can either connect with loved ones in the spirit world.
Okay, that makes it simple for me. That makes it simple for me. My mom and dad, my dad especially, has been gone now over a long time. I won't say how many years, but many years. And my mom, 13. And is there a way maybe of saying hi or contacting them or saying something?
Yeah. Yes, of course there
fair
is.
Enough.
And as you're talking, I've gone completely tingly, and I know that your mum and dad have stepped forward. Your mum is wanting to talk first, and no, they're both wanting to talk. Sorry.
I know, I'm sure she is. That doesn't surprise me.
They're sort of vying for talking, but
yeah.
I just feel with your dad, he had a great personality and quite a strong personality, and I feel that he's saying to me that he had quite a close relationship with you, and it's like nobody will upset my daughter because it's almost like you're his little princess. Would you understand that?
Yes, very much so.
And
very much so.
Your mum, and I just feel that there was times when he was at home and you were at home or doing things, it's like you would be always together and sort of walking around together and being together, and I want to sing. Do you remember singing with your dad?
Maybe being younger, but I can't really recall it as I've gotten older. We spent a lot of time together and we talked.
Well, he's given me, because as he's coming through, I can hear singing, and I can just sort of hear it in the background, and I just feel that there's something significant with his voice, or with singing with you, but I just feel like I want to sing. Does that make sense as I describe it slightly differently?
It possibly does, because a lot of the songs he sang, when I think back to it, were like, because he was so much older, he'd be close to 100, would be like old Frank Sinatra and Connie Francis and Bobby Vinton.
Yeah, I just feel like I like the music. I'm enjoying the music, and
it's old music.
He was quite, but your dad is quite charismatic. I feel like he's quite charming, and I really like him. He's a friendly person, and I think and people warmed to him, didn't they? Do you remember that about him?
He never said a bad word about anybody.
Everybody, and I feel everybody liked him. When people came across him, they all liked him, and he was. I just feel that he was hugely popular.
He was.
And I just.
Will I ever get the chance to ever see him again? When it's when I pass.
Of course you will. That's exactly what happens. When you go to the spirit world, you connect with all your loved ones and rekindle those relationships. Can you believe that? It's amazing, isn't it? That will happen one day. And he's
what
just
I
saying to me
believed
that
in my heart from very young. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, he's just saying to me that he's made this promise to you that I will be there when you need to come across, and help you across. I'm going to be the one that helps you. And he's just made that promise to you. Now, there's something about your father where you have been at times thought, I wish, it's like he didn't see a lot of what's gone on in your life. I feel like sort of relationship, children, or things like that. Does that make sense to you?
He was long past before I developed anything positive or family-wise or marriage or anything like that. So yeah, he missed a lot. Yeah, he's saying he didn't see any of it, and he's quite sad because he says, I would have made a great grandfather. Well, my elder son is named after him.
Oh, how nice.
My elder son, I gave him the honor to have my dad's name.
Wow, wow. And I'm going all tingly as you say that. And he's saying to me that it's an absolute honor that you chose his name. He loves it. He loves it. He's quite chuffed, actually. He's quite. And
no middle name. No middle name. Just straightforward. Just his name and the last name. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he's my mom. Is my mom okay?
Yeah, before I go to your mum, your dad is just saying to me that although he hasn't been around you in the physical sense, he has been around you in a spiritual sense. So all what's happened in your life, he's been there and been able to be part of it. And
well, that's a good thing.
And before I move on to your mum, was there something to do with your Christmas? An incident?
An incident at Christmas time.
If it's not Christmas, if it's not Christmas, Thanksgiving, or there's some sort of family gathering where there was a bit of an incident or a bit of a he's not being specific, but he's just bringing it up and letting you know that it's his way of letting you know that he's around you in your life. And your mum, she's here with him, and that they're together in the spirit world. And I think that's and I'm being told that's really important that you know that, because you've often wondered whether they got together, is what your mum's saying. And she said yes, she has. I feel with your mum, she was more the strict one in the family. Do you remember that? Yeah,
she was.
And she's saying to me, I'm sort of the strict one, and had to sort of lay the law down a little bit. But it didn't mean that she didn't love you any less, because she's saying to me,
not at all.
She's saying to me that she has a great deal of love for you. And is there somebody in the spirit world with an M name, like Margaret?
Margaret.
Maggie, Margaret, Mary. I'm just hearing that M name.
Yeah. Mary.
Yeah. Because I'm being told that person is here as well, and I'm also, and your mum is saying to me that she's met up with one of her good friends that had passed many years before her, and it was a great upset to her, because she was very close to this friend, and she's telling me that she's met up with her, and I know that, and it was like a big celebration when she went to the spirit world, because she met up with her old friend.
green hat, red hat, oops. Red shirt, blue shirt, yellow shirt, oops. Yellow pants, red pants, green pants, oops.
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, they can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I am a witness, and so are you.
Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. My name is Josie Curcio and I'll be your host for today. I'm in beautiful Sydney in Australia and I'm an international psychic intuitive reader and teacher. So I'm really nervous, but at the same time I'm really excited. I haven't done this before and I'm totally looking forward to share all the interesting topics and some of the guests that I'm going to have in the next few weeks, and also the free readings that we can do. How cool is that? Did you know that you can get free readings today? All you need to do is go onto the A1R Psychic Radio Facebook page and like the video, which is live right now. So all you need to do is you need to like it and then inbox them your details and they'll link you in with me live, and so we can do those. We're probably going to do a little bit at the end of the show because I would like to chit chat with you guys about pretty much what I do, you know, what makes my heart sing, what do I love to do for work, and I'm a little bit different than everybody else. So let's do a really short introduction first. I have been doing the spiritual path of this work for the last 17 years, which is pretty much a long time for some people. And along the way, I have collected little things, you know, as you do when you really focus on your past, you kind of focus on the growth. And so while you do that, you're kind of learning different things, you're shaping yourself differently, you're going, oh, I used to do that, but that doesn't suit my purpose anymore. I'm going to change it. So along the way, I've learned different things. And some of them are, obviously I became quite a strong clairvoyant. I already had a really good intuition. That's why I call myself an intuitive psychic. Everything I do is based on my intuition. I don't only do it for work, I actually do it in my life as well. 24/7, kind of really tuning in, because I have learned that even though sometimes you might be alone in a room, you're actually not lonely. We are surrounded by beautiful beings and we are surrounded by our purpose. You know, they're constantly directing us. So that's why I call myself an intuitive psychic. So along the way, in the last 17 years, I developed that intuition and I learned to make it a little bit sharper and a little bit stronger. And so now I can actually say when I do my readings that I am a clairvoyant, I am a clairsentient, and I am a clairaudience. What does that mean? That means that I can actually see, hear, and feel messages during a session. I'm also a little bit of a bitter with other things. So along the way I've learned advanced numerology, and that was a random thing that kind of happened to me over 10 years ago. A client of mine at the time started telling me about numerology and gave me a quick reading on my birthday. So numerology is based on your birthday, but there are so many layers of that. So I got so curious. I couldn't believe how accurate this friend of mine was. I ended up studying it for 2 years. And there's layers and layers and layers. So I would love to share that with you today, and a little segment of that every single time we do the show. The other thing I do that I gel quite beautifully with numerology is colour therapy. We, again, another thing that I got randomly introduced to. I used to work as a manager at plenty of retail stores because I used to love colours. And at the time I wasn't feeling very well, and I was very attracted to a specific colour. Couldn't get enough. And this client of mine, randomly again, another lady, told me that the reason why we like certain colours is because we're trying to get some healing from that colour. I went, what? And again, she was spot on about what I was going through. So I sparked an interest for me to learn about colour therapy. So today I would love to share some insights in regard to that as well. Let's learn what we can do with colours. As you know, we're surrounded by colours, we wear colours, we love colours, and also we dislike colours. And that's the best part, because that's the part where I can help you understand why we dislike colours. There is an emotional disconnection, believe it or not, to when we don't like colours, and sometimes really passionately dislike it. So those are the kind of things that I can actually introduce to you, and it's really, really interesting. And again, everything I do is to help you find your purpose. You know, why are you here? Why did you reincarnate and come back on this life? You know, are you a young soul? Are you an old soul? There is a reason why we are here, and wouldn't it be wonderful to figure that out? You know, there is times where we feel so stuck, and that is because we are not really truly following our purpose. Sometimes we get lost in the duties that we feel we need to have, you know, with the daughter off, with the sister off, with the wife off, or being really connected to work and only focus on work, and we kind of lose that inner purpose. So that's some of the things that I can do for you. The other thing that I can do as well is I started my journey with the healing touch of massages, and while I was learning, I decided to actually get a diploma in aromatherapy, and I bumped into this lovely lady who created this gorgeous, I want to see if you guys can see it, beautiful aromatherapy cards. So each card represents an oil, and I started playing with them. As a matter of fact, that is how I got into readings. I wasn't planning to become a reader, I just wanted to become a massage therapist, and at the time I did Reiki as well, being a healer. And by grabbing these cards and playing and mucking around with them, so I was just allowing the client who came in to get a massage to grab a couple of cards and mix the oil into their blend. And because I studied everything there is to know about essential oils, in the olden times, essential oils were not just used for the physical body, but they were also used for their emotional being and for their spiritual being. They're fantastic for grieving, they're fantastic for protecting your energy, they invigorate, they can sedate, they're great. And I love the colours because I do colour therapy as well, so I love the colours. So we can definitely do some reading and use them today. And while I'm at it, since I showed you the aromatherapy cards, I'm going to show you these amazing colour cards that I also use in my colour readings. So today we can actually do that as well. So how fun is that? So definitely get into that, if you want your reading, get into sharing the video, which is live at the moment, inbox the A1R Psychic Radio and let them know that you're interested. And you know, the other thing that you can do as I'm talking and chit-chatting, because you know, I've become a little bit of a chatterbox in regard to what I love doing, as I'm chatting and you perhaps have a question or you might want to know about something, you can write that down and you can connect with us today, or you can connect with us next time in the next show. Feel free to connect with me privately as well if you want to go onto my Facebook page, which is Josie Curcio, Inner Light Therapies. That's my business name. I'll repeat that, Inner Light Therapies, and you can just send me a little quick message. Perhaps there could be something that you guys want me to discuss a little bit more in details for next time, and I would love to do that. That's pretty much what I do. So let's see where they want me to go, and I'm saying let's see where they want me to go because again, I'm not alone. You know, I'm connecting to my own beings and my guides, and I'm connecting to yours, and so I get guided. So let's see, I think we might talk about numerology first. So with numerology, I've already explained to you really briefly that it's based on your birthday. So every single digit of your birthday, what we do is we add it all together until we come up with one digit. And I can show you that perhaps with the next reading. I can go into more details. But what I really think I need to sort of focus on is we can also do numerology to help the world, to help everybody around us at the moment. So you know how we have the Oriental Zodiac, where every year we might be in the year of the dragon, or we might be in the year of the ox or the rooster. Numerology kind of works that way as well. It's what we do is we add the year, which for example we're sitting on 2017. So we add the number 2, the 0 doesn't count, then we add the number 1, so that becomes a 3, and then we got a 7, 7 and 3 becomes a 10. Again, for the sake of the exercise at the moment, we're not going to look at the 0. When you do advanced numerology, the 0 is looked at a different level. But for now, we just want to look at one simple digit. So globally, we're sitting in a number 1. In numerology, we look at a cycle from 1 to 9. So we're sitting in a number 1 at the moment. Next year is going to be a number 2. The following year is going to be a number 3. And what does that mean? That means that we can actually sit on this vibration. And if you understand what that vibration means, it can actually help you with your journey. If you're doing quite well already, it will just elevate you to a higher place, a giggly place, a happy place, which at the end of the day, that's where we all want to be. But if you're stuck, if you've got some challenges, if there's something going on, the number 1 or numerology is going to be able to explain to you why you're stuck in that number. And at the moment, to be honest with you guys, with my readings or with my clients that they're coming to me at the moment, a lot of people are being stuck with the number 1. And we can see it on an individual, personal path, or we can see it with institutions, and we can also see it globally. And I'm going to explain to you what I mean by that. So the number 1, when it's really balanced and quite strong, stands on its own. So you know when you look at the actual, you can visualize how it looks when you write it down. So it sort of stands, it almost looks like it's got its feet nice and firm, and it's strong, and it doesn't need anybody, you know, independent, a little bit of a leader, you know, probably wants to surround itself with what's around, but stands quite strong on his own 2 feet. So the number 1 already has this wonderful, strong, primal energy to move on its own. It is connected to blood as well when you learn about the number 1 and to the element of the sun. So as you know, the sun is fiery. It's strong, it's energizing, and the blood is vitality, is you know, it's represented by the color red, which that's how I add my color therapy into it. Every single number is connected to a wonderful color, so my color therapy gels beautifully with the numerology. So the number 1 that we're sitting on in this year is connected to the color red, and it's connected to the strength of wanting to move forward and create changes. People say that it's the beginners. It's a beginning for everybody. And this year, I think at the beginning, we kind of felt, last year felt a little bit heavy, a bit ugly, and we couldn't wait to start this year. So we were really looking forward to start the year. So we kind of felt this almost like an impulse to just, yeah, I want to go there, and I just want to really focus. So that's where it's pretty much going. It's like, you know, when I compare it, or when I talk about the different colors and the different numbers, I sort of mention like when we sit in the car. We're about to sit in a car, and we kind of know where we're going, but we need to actually put the key in there and initiate the engine. That's like what the number 1 does for you. I call it the oomphy number and the oomphy color, because it gets you to really go forward with it. So that's kind of exciting. So when you understand what the number 1 can do for you, and you're kind of stuck, like I said, if you already have been working on yourself and things are kind of smoothly going well for you, that's because you're sitting on a good vibration. You've done all the hard work, or you've been working on yourself. And when we work on ourselves, there's these constant layers that we have to really kind of shred and get rid of. So when we go into a new year, we kind of go into it in a more smoother way. But when we've been struggling with our challenges for whatever reason, that's when we're feeling stuck. And sometimes we repeat the same mistakes and we don't know why. So people that come to me to see me for numerology or color therapy, I'm actually able, by looking at their birthday, because everyone that is listening to me right now, if you have a number 1 in your birthday, whether it is your date of birth, so it could be your 1st, the 10th, or even the 19th, because again, we add digits together. So the 19th will come up to a 10 again, because 9 and 1 gives you a 10. So we're looking at a number 1. Also your month. If you were born in January, or if you were born in October, we got that number 1 present. And everybody else who were born on the 19th of something, we got that number 1 sitting there. And that's why I think I wanted to talk about 2017, because I feel globally we're all really working with this vibration. And most of us are kind of feeling stuck, or we're misunderstanding what we're looking at. So, the people that have this number 1 in their birthday are probably going to be a little bit more affected than others, because we're kind of feeling it. It's like we kind of want to make some changes. I want to be a little bit bolder. I want to be a little bit more courageous. I want to be more brave. You know, I want to stand up to certain things or certain situations. But why are we stuck? What's going on? So one of the things that I've learned, which was really interesting for my own personal journey, and now I'm happy to share it with people that I talk to, is that, as you know, the world is based on positive and negative energy. We know what the positive energy is because it's something that we always want to sort of attract into our life. But did you know that the negative energy is actually divided into 2 sectors? We're looking at, it's almost like the opposite or polarities. So I'm going to do it like that. The visual can always help me. So we've got a negative sector of opposite or polarities, and what that means is the negativity sometimes is overreactive or underactive. Overreactive is, particularly with number 1, someone that is kind of aggressive, me all the time. His world is his rules, you know, like what he says goes, very authoritarian. They can be, you know, like possessive and jealous, and just, it's always about them. Again, remember I mentioned to you that it's connected to blood, so they're really proud of their culture, or they might be proud of their religion, or they could be proud of their family or where they come from. So it's overdone. Also, they could be rulers, you know, where they want to rule and they want to be the bully, or they want to be, you know, the authoritarian part, that I'm going to tell you what to do kind of thing, and they won't listen to anything else. Then the opposite of that polarity is the underactive. The underactive is the people that want to be a little bit more stronger with their beliefs or want to achieve something, and they actually, by the way, when we talk about color therapy, they're actually attracted to the color red, particularly if they see it outside, but they don't normally wear it. And the reason why they won't wear it is because underactive, it means that they tend to sit in that mind frame of playing the victims, you know, where they believe that I don't have the strength to do it, I'm too scared, I'm afraid. Perhaps they've been brought up when they were little by family or society that they can't step up. They could have been conditioned to believe if they were a woman, well, you don't do that, you know, you let a man do that. Or they could have been conditioned, even if they were a male or a woman, that you're just not good enough. You know, so that condition creates this energy of being underactive, and they normally don't like the color red. Now again, the red could probably suit them beautifully, because we are meant to be wearing colors, but we make this strange choice of going, no, red is not for me, I'm not really attracted to red. While the other ones, guys, the ones that are very overactive, love red. So again, we've got to find the balance. So where is the balance? In the middle of it. You know, where we find that yin and yang that is just perfect, 2 elements completely gelling beautifully together in the middle. So when I do my readings, I try to find where we're sitting with our mind, with our soul, with our experiences, and why are we following our path. So with this number 1, where we need to go and find this balance in the middle, we can understand the energy that we're sitting on, and we can also understand through color therapy why we're not sitting on it. And globally, I feel that we are kind of seeing that at the moment. So where are you at? As an individual, are you happy with your work? Are you happy with your life? Are you happy with your spouse, your partner, your kids? on a more broader cast, where are you at when it comes to the world? You know, are you happy with society? Are you happy with the culture? You can see at the moment I'm getting a lot of people getting really upset about the relationship breaking up, because the number one demands for you to stand on your own 2 feet and be an individual and be respected as such, not to be owned by anybody else, but to be liked and respected as such. And at the end of the day, isn't that what we all want? Don't we want to live in a life or in a society where we all kind of respected for who we are? Aren't we beautiful with our own individuality? But we need to get there some way. So let's find out where we're at. And if you're all doing great, that's fantastic. That's where I'm at. I'm doing great. You know, I'm happy. I have recognized where I'm at, and I had to get rid of a lot of things that were kind of taking over in what I believed in. And I had to work with colors, which was amazing. It was a much easier way to sort of get the healing in there, because it's not in your face. And by the way, with colour therapy, if you're one of those people that don't like to wear red and you are resonating with what I'm actually just passed on to you guys, if you're really passionate about not liking red, you do not have to wear it on as a top, because it will be like too much. You know, it's in your face. You're not going to wear it. You're going to go, Josie, I'm not wearing that. It's not happening. And that's what I kind of said when there were colours that I didn't like. I was going, no, I'm not wearing it. But there is another way that you can actually heal through colours. You can actually wear them as undergarments, you know, just kind of underwear. They don't have to be fully red. They can be polka dots or a little ring somewhere, or socks, scarf, beanies. For us women, we can be a little bit more colourful. We can have a lippy on, we can have our nails painted or little jam somewhere. So I encourage you to try it, give it a go, and then let me know how you go, because you know, I've been doing this for like almost 17 years. I've had amazing clients coming back to me with great results, you know, where they felt a little bit more encouraged, or they felt a little bit like, why was I thinking like that? You know, they come start thinking outside the square, which is marvellous to see, because at the end of the day, I want to see people being the best that they can be, because that's where I'm at now. So I want to share that with everybody. So that is where the colour sits, and that's how we sort of do numerology. With numerology, I also want to share with you that it can also be done with your partner. So we can do joint charts. It can be with anybody that kind of really ticks you off and you're wondering why you can't actually get into a solution, or people that really bring the best out of you, and there's such a beautiful soul connection, and probably someone from a past life, which can be, by the way, it can be karmic, or it can be a dharma, it can be a positive or a negative, but I can do joint charts as well. And the most popular joint charts that I do, not only with partners, but the most popular ones is with the children. Like if you've got kids and you want to help them grow, because as you know, we're all coming into this earth with some challenges, and some of the kids are already showing that. It is the most beautiful way to actually understand why your child has come into this earth, why you're feeling such a connection or a disconnection, you know, how can you help them through their journey, because we all have, and on your birthday, by the way, there is a connection to a mother and a father, and we're bringing a gift, and we're bringing some challenges, and numerology allows you to do that. So with numerology, I could probably do a good hour to an hour and a half. But obviously, for the sake of the exercise for today, we're going to have to condense it and go with more of the intuition. Now, let's do, I think we've got a reader. Why don't we do a reading? Let's see how we go with that. So we've got Bob, I think. So let me see how it's going. Bob in Jupiter, take your room. Okay, so Bob, are you there? Oh, okay, it's not Bob. I'm sorry. By the way, guys, we are live and we're interactive live. So, you know, sometimes we're going to be doing some bloopers, so I apologize. So, okay, so we actually got Tammy in Portland, Oregon. Oh, wonderful. Hi, Tammy, how are you?
Yes, hi, it's me. Thank you. I'm good.
That's good. Welcome to the show. You've been my first reader. That's very exciting. How can I help you?
Well, I had a couple of things. I wanted to know if there was any guidance or advice from my father or spirit, And also, I have the patience, but why do I have the feeling that the love of my life will be here in 3 months? Is that real?
Tammy, that's so cool. Tammy, could I please have your birthday?
11/3/67.
1967. Okay. So I can answer that question really quickly in regard to why do you have the feeling that you're being advised about something, your guides are sort of helping you through it. You got an 11, so being born on the 11 is an extremely sensitive number. You're quite intuitive. When you're at your best, Tammy, you would get really good connection. You will get sensation. Your instincts are quite spot on. Am I correct in saying that?
I didn't actually hear, did you say something about trees?
No, Tammy, I was talking about your number 11. See how you were born on the 11?
Yeah.
And because I do numerology, I can answer your question in regard to why you're actually feeling that someone is coming towards you in 3 months. The reason why you can feel that is because your number 11 represents your intuition. You're more sensitive than other people. So when you're feeling at your best, you're actually going to resonate with that intuition. And I do agree with you. I do feel that you're getting somebody coming in about within the 3 months I'm kind of getting for you. Which is quite wonderful. So you need to, I feel like that you kind of need to prepare for it. And correct me if I'm wrong, Tammy, but I'm kind of getting that this time you want the right person and you want someone that is very similar to you. I'm getting a taller gentleman or a taller person coming your way, and it's got to be different from what you used to. Does that make sense to you, Tammy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I have a strong feeling that there is a connection to overseas with this person, whether this person travels overseas or whether it's got family from overseas, and also a lot of driving or connection to interstates as well, Tammy. So you're absolutely correct with that. The other thing that I'm getting as well is your guides are coming through very, very strongly. You are surrounded by them. So can you trust in your intuition a little bit more? Do you also get dreams? Because they're saying to me that they come through your dreams. Are you getting vivid dreams?
I'm getting a lot of dreams, but there's some that I'm not remembering, and I used to remember all my dreams, and it's kind of strange.
Okay. Tammy, unfortunately we have to go, but before I go, you can connect with me on my website, www.innerlighttherapies.com.au. And thank you so much for connecting with me tonight, and we can do this again next week. I'll see you all next week. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much, and have a colourful day and a colourful week. Mwah.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
I am Amanda Marie, and I'm so thankful and in such deep gratitude to be on this show, to be hosting my own show on this amazing Psychic Air network that's been around since, I think, 2006. It's been around a long time, and it's global. So I feel very honored. And just to tell you a little bit about me, everybody, I am a master channeler, a Reiki master, and a Theta healing practitioner. I'm a mother of 3 beautiful children, 13, 10, and 8, and I'm very busy on all fronts, but I really am passionate about my spiritual work, and it's through my obsessiveness with my spiritual work that I have become what I call a master channeler. So let me give you a little history about me so that you guys can know more of where I come from and how this all happened. In December 2010, so not too many years ago, well, let's start way back. So starting back when I was a little girl, you know, I always felt the emotions of other people, being like an empathic child. I could feel other people's feelings, and I thought everyone kind of operated that same way. And if people felt sad, I felt it. If they were happy, I felt it. I felt willing to take on other people's issues and problems to help them because I would feel that, which could become somewhat codependent. And I was curious about spirituality. I felt like I connected with spirits and other things, and so I'd read books. So I was curious. I was curious in my younger years. But it wasn't until 2010 when I was rear-ended in a car accident. I was stopped on the freeway and someone hit me at 60 miles an hour. That means that my spinal cord suffered a severe injury. I had pooling of fluid in my spinal cord, or what they call syrinx. And because of that, the doctors, the neurosurgeons were saying, we don't know what to do with you. We might need to drain your cerebral fluid. You know, you should either be paralyzed or dead. So this is one of those situations that you would call blessing in disguise, that's for sure. With 3 young children, for the doctors, for the neurosurgeons to say things like you should be paralyzed or dead was not good enough for me. And wanting to drain my cerebral fluid was definitely not good enough for me. I didn't want anyone touching my cerebral fluid. I'm like, I need that stuff. So what ended up happening was I had to turn to alternatives. The doctors, they even sent my medical records to UCLA. They didn't know what to do. It was inconclusive as to how to treat me. So I had to radically change my thought patterns. And I wasn't, at this point in my life, I wasn't hugely into the spiritual stuff, didn't really know too much about it, was more into the day in, day out, you know, 9-to-5 work, lifestyle, and that kind of thing. So this was a radical change for me, and I knew there was other answers. I knew there was alternative medicine and alternative healing out there, and so it was about me finding it. I found a phenomenal holistic chiropractor, Dr. Sherry Smith, in Encinitas, California. If you're in the area, she's amazing. She owns Back to Balance Chiropractic. She uses what you call an activator, which was very gentle on my body after having a car accident like that, and she used muscle testing so that I could eat the proper foods so that my body could heal itself. Your body, think about it, you get a cut or you get some sort of injury, somehow your body magically heals itself. We don't even know how it happens, but it's designed for total self-healing. So if you present the optimal environment for that total self-healing, that's in fact what's going to happen. So she helped me with my eating and my diet and, you know, what not to eat during this healing phase. And then I walked into this amazing metaphysical bookstore here called Soulscape. And there was this incredible medium by the name of Lynn Kay, adorable, adorable Lynn Kay, who said she was doing readings that day at Soulscape, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to get a reading. Even though I hadn't really done anything like this before, I didn't really know, I was just called to do it. Let's just say it was a knowing or an inspiration. So I get a reading from Lynn. And right off the bat, she's like, oh, before you were born, you entered into a spiritual contract with your father and your stepdad wanted to raise you in this life, and your father agreed to be the, shall we say, sperm donor. And I was like, what? You know nothing about me, and that's all true in terms of the dynamics of my family. And she said, your grandfather's passed and is here with you. So it was like I was all in. I was all into believing. And she said, you know what? You're in a fork in your road. You're at a fork in the road in your life. You can choose to, go this direction and have them drain your cerebral fluid, be dependent on, medical technology and medicine, and take that road, or you can choose to take this higher spiritual road starting now. You're called to do much bigger things in this life. And let's call this like a wake-up call for you, a big blessing. And so I thought, wow, maybe so. I'm really resonating. So I started doing obsessive research, everything spiritual, and I started working with a remote energy healer that's helped start healing my body energetically. He could see my energetic body, told me what happened in the car accident. And while he was working with me, because he was actually in New York City, I'm in San Diego, while he was working with me on the phone, he was actually having me do exercises to release emotional trauma from my childhood. Emotional trauma from my childhood, draining the cerebral fluid, getting it moving. Not surgery or anything else. Emotional trauma, doing these exercises that I was practicing while he was working on my energy body. I thought, this is just unbelievable. Lo and behold, 6 months later, I go back to the neurosurgeon and, I get the MRIs and all that fun stuff again. They're like, the cerebral fluid is draining. Whatever you're doing, the cerebral fluid's moving. The pockets of fluid that should be moving is smaller. And I told the doctor what I was doing. I'm like, I'm a spiritual freak. I love this stuff. This is amazing. This is changing my life. And he's like, okay, keep doing what you're doing. I believe in you. Go for it. Keep doing it. And sure enough, I'm here today feeling great. I can run around with my kids and do what I want. So that's really what got me started on the spiritual path. It's one of those massive awakening moments that I would definitely call a blessing in disguise, as it was a road to recovery for sure at that point in my life. But here we are. I am, as a Reiki master, I got attuned by one of my best and dearest friends, Miss Chris Hayden. She's an amazing being, angel light being, and I'm a theta healing practitioner. I've taken advanced theta healing and other such modalities involved with theta, and I'm obsessed with theta. Theta is the state of mind between awake and sleep. So when you're in that dream state and you're kind of waking up, you don't know what's going on, that's where your brain is in a theta brainwave state. And there's so many more things that you can connect to in terms of higher frequencies. There's so much more information out there for you in that state. It's also used for hypnosis. So you can use it as a tool for healing and releasing, core beliefs and all these other things. So my theta master, Miss Alexandra Rohr, is a phenomenal being, and she put me on a very special track for learning that was just one-on-one. And so I got a ton of training in theta, and that's kind of what launched me. I started downloading all these different ways of helping cleanse and clear people's chakras, cleanse and clear, balance people's chakras, bring them guided messages, clear their energy field. I got all these ways of doing this, and it was all about connecting the energy from, I like to call it creator space, higher in our higher dimensional self, and the core of Mother Earth, connecting those energies and using our bodies as vehicles of light, using our bodies as bridges of light, really allowing for that balancing and frequency of energy. And so for me, I just started experimenting on my friends. I'm like, can I try this on you? And I can tell you, it's really scary. When you're saying, is your grandma passed, and does she have a white dog, and she's coming through and telling you this, this, and this, you can feel very vulnerable. It can feel, scary sharing this information, and but I kept doing it. I kept going at it. In fact, I'm doing this radio show tonight, and it's like, This is my first radio show, and I feel I'm nervous. I was nervous before the show. I mean, I'll admit to it right now. I was absolutely nervous, and I felt a calling to do it because there's so much information and messages to get out there. So fast forward to the master channeling. Through this healing stuff that I worked on day in and day out and obsessively. I mean, we're talking, if I get messages, I'm writing, I'm doing the automatic writing, I'm paying attention to messages in my environment, I'm listening obsessively, like just practicing how to channel, how to, get these inspirations. And for the longest time, it was my voice coming through, right? It was inspiration, whether it could have been other masters or not. It was like I was hearing my voice. Well, I'll tell you, at some point, I started hearing the voices of the people coming through. So if it's Archangel Michael, hearing his voice, or if it's Yogananda, hearing his voice, or if it's, Dr. Wayne Dyer coming through, I hear his voice, or Jesus, or the Holy Mother, or whomever is coming through, I now hear their voice. But it's through obsessive practice. It takes practice, people. That's the key. That, and also learning and knowing how to clear and ground your energy consistently. It's very important you drink plenty of fluids. I've got my water here, got lemon in it and everything else. Clearing and grounding your energy when you first get up in the morning. What does that mean? You can even get on YouTube and find a clearing and grounding meditation. 3 deep breaths. 3 deep breaths resets your body. It's like it tricks your body from fight or flight. So if you're anxious throughout the day, you have a meeting or something like me just before this radio show, these 3 deep breaths trick your body back into homeostasis from a more anxiety-driven fight or flight state. So anytime you feel nervous or anxious, it's that moment of stepping outside of yourself, stepping outside of that thought pattern to take those 3 deep breaths all the way deep into the belly. So let's take one in. Take another deep breath in. Take another deep breath in. Feel how much your body and energy has dropped now. If you participated, just really feel how the energy is shifted and dropped. So anytime during the day when you're in this anxious state of mind, you can even go in the bathroom for a couple minutes and take these deep breaths, or go to your car or whatever, a quiet space, and do this. It really can help. Also clearing and grounding your energy at night before going to bed. And then you can start listening to inspiration. On these radio shows, I'll start teaching you more how to channel and how to tune in and those things as we go on. I did want to mention these magnificent pieces of art behind me here. These incredible pieces of art. This is Angels of the Universe here. This is the birthing of Venus. I mean, just incredible. This is Neptune up here on the higher, you can see part of it. This is done by Janice Mann. Her artwork is phenomenal, and I want to give her a shout out because she is just an incredible human, and she is somebody who actually died and came back to life. I think it was about a year ago now. She had some sort of disease kind of take her over. It was a weird disease, and she ended up dying and coming back. But she has always been an artist. She studied astronomy. She studied physics. She studied all the different master art forms. And so this is her work. And if you want to check it out, ShaneMann.com. It's ShaneMann.com. She's an incredible woman. So she really is, her story is incredible. I'm going to bring her on for an interview, maybe next episode or the following. But this is her artwork back here. Highly recommend you check it out. It looks like we have a caller on the line. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to channel for somebody who's called in, and you guys can hear this, how this channeling actually works, which I'm really excited about. So, Michelle in Queensland, Australia. I'm so excited to talk to you. How are you?
Yes, good. Can you hear me?
I can. I can
Hello?
hear you very well. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hello, how are you?
I am wonderful and very excited. You're my very first channeling guest on my show, so I'm excited to get this. Yeah. Yes.
That's great.
So,
that's so good.
Isn't that exciting? We already have a special connection because you're my first guest I'm channeling on my show ever. So
that's great. That's really good. I'm really, really happy about that.
Oh, wonderful. So what's your question, Michelle? What would you like to find out about?
Well, my mum, if there's any messages from my mum.
Oh. Let me tune in. If you could take a deep breath for me.
Yep.
Oh boy, I feel her presence. She's a very sweet, very loving being.
I know.
Yeah, she misses you dearly.
I know, I miss her too.
Yeah, she loves you very much, and she's wanting you to really do a lot of gardening and you know, just be out in nature and remember what it feels like to stay connected. And she knows that you miss her very much. And anytime you see anything like butterflies or, you know, birds out flying out in the garden that you notice, that's her.
Yes, I know. I so know that. That's so beautiful. Butterflies especially.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, she's showing. So I can see like the beautiful butterfly just kind of drifting across the garden area, and she's telling me that that's her, you know, letting you know that she's there. But you can also connect with her directly. I would highly recommend. Okay, beautiful. So what do you do?
Oh, she talks to me all the time. She's with me. I have cups of tea with her. She tells me things and sends me messages all the time. And she's just here. She visits quite often. It's just beautiful. It's amazing. I just love it. And I just feel like she's trying to tell me something else that I can't. That she's led me. She led me to a house the other day. And it was just beautiful, and I'm getting really excited about it. Is there anything you can pick up on that?
Let me see. Let me tune in. It's so funny. I have Archangel Michael coming through that really wants to do an energy clearing on you. So he's chiming, and I'm like, shh. She said this house is very charming. She said this house is very charming and one that would be absolutely wonderful for you, and that the energy is there. Her energy is already there, and she would love for you to step into this home, and she would love for you to check it out and look more into possibly getting into this home, and that the reason why you feel such a connection to it is because her energy is already there, and she is, in fact, guiding you to that space. You can also have your gardens there, and it would be a very beautiful space for you, and she's really, really excited. She's like jumping up and down with excitement that this conversation is happening, because it's no longer going to be just an inspiration. It's about you taking action at this point. And it's really her being able to work with you much more directly by living in this space. And it's absolutely beautiful, such a charming, charming place. And she's really, really excited about it. And she wants you to understand that she's already there, that her energy is already there, and that by you being in that space, it's going to allow you to even open more to her being in your presence. And you know,
my God, that's so true.
Experiencing her in your dreams, being able to go places with her, astral travel with her, in the 5th dimension. So when you're sleeping, you will have the ability to astral travel with her and go places. You can even do your gardening in your sleep and stuff like that with her there. So she just feels like this huge opening for you and this huge spiritual expansion and awakening by this place.
Yes, yes. I feel like this place is going to, it's like a, I don't know, it's magical. I took my dad to it and we both fell in love with it, and it was just like she was with us, guiding us. You know, I was listening to my guidance all day. I had to get to this place. I picked my father up and off we went, and it was just, yeah, it was a magical day. It was just amazing.
Does this place have beautiful little gardening area, like beautiful little garden?
Well, the place I'm in here does. You could put a garden in. It's more tropical, this place that I went to. It's very, very tropical. Where I am now is very tropical. It has more of a garden, and when I do my gardening, I'm always thinking of Mum. But, you could put a garden there, definitely.
Yeah, that's what I see. She's really wanting you to do your gardening because that's what really brings you so much joy. That's what really opens your heart. It's what lifts you. You know, sometimes if you get in a mental cycle of patterning and a mental cycle that's not in your highest and best interest and you don't feel good, it's all about going out and doing the gardening. And of course, she's out there with you, as you said, and so, and the butterflies,
also,
of course.
Also the beach, too. This place is near the beach, and she really loves the beach, and I love the beach, too. And when I go there, I felt like we'll be walking on the beach every day together when I moved to this place.
Yeah, you guys have had many lives together. She's not only been your mom, you guys have been sisters. I'm sure there's a bit of that sisterly energy there between the two of you. Yeah, you guys have had many lives together historically in different ways. You know, you've actually been her mother before as well. So it's just a very loving energy, and thank you so much for allowing me to connect to her. It was really magnificent and beautiful. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, thank you, Amanda. I really appreciate that. I'm really looking forward to going to this place. I feel it's going to happen soon, so it was just lovely for you to connect into that and bring me peace about that, because, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's beautiful. I love my mum, and, yeah, it's just lovely it's just beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're so very welcome, my dear. And real quick, if you want a quick energy clearing from Archangel Michael, he's coming through. He's a very powerful angel. Yeah, okay. Okay, so just take another deep breath for me. I am Archangel Michael, and I'm coming through now to clear your energy, cleanse and clear and ground your energy now. I want you to feel this magnificent light coming down in through your crown chakra, third eye, throat chakra, heart chakra, solar plexus, sacral chakra, root chakra, upper legs, knees, lower legs, feet, down into the core of Mother Earth as I connect you as a bridge of light between heaven and the core of Mother Earth. I am now clearing your energy field. I am now removing from your energy field what no longer serves you. You are an empath by nature. You take on other people's energy. You don't even intend to. So I'm now removing those energies from your energy field. I'm clearing and cleansing all your chakras now and bringing them together as one through the Kundalini energy rising from the base of your pelvis all the way up through your chakras. I am now removing any other energy that is not in your highest and best interest. I am now filling your energy tanks, bringing back all the energy that is yours that you've given to so many others. You have such a beautiful, magnificent heart that you've given to so many others. I am now bringing the energy back and filling your energy tanks. I want you to feel the energy fill and fill and fill and fill and allow you to feel the light. Allow you to feel the peace and the harmony with this clearing and grounding now, feeling the magnificence of this energy coming, surging through your body now as you are awakening to a much higher state of consciousness. And your mother is, in fact, a big part of this, and she's here with me now. I am Archangel Michael. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's beautiful. It really is beautiful. It's all coming back to me. It really is. I have put a lot out there. Spiritually, I've done a lot of work, and it's done with much love. So I'm so grateful to get this back in return. I really am, Amanda. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So much love to you. You have such a beautiful, magnificent heart. I'm honored you're the first caller. And so much hugs to you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, my dear. You're welcome.
Oh, God bless you, Amanda. Thank you so much. You've made my day.
God bless you too, Michelle. And you can always listen to this episode again on the archive shows. So if you miss anything or want to hear anything, you can always go to the archive shows, go look for Messages from the Masters, and you'll find my show there. So thank you, my dear.
I will, definitely. I will. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
A beautiful weekend.
You too. You too. Thank you. And if you'd like to connect with me, I'm on Facebook at Divine Living. My business page is Divine Living. You can also reach out to my website. It's www.angel444energy.com. That's www.angel444energy.com. Loved working with all of you tonight. That was very exciting. I can't thank Michelle enough for that call. It was beautiful. Hopefully I got in enough information in this episode. And join me next Thursday night, every Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. Pacific, 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Call in. I would love to channel for you. I've got all sorts of beings that want to come through. I look forward to talking to you all next episode and on Messages with the Masters. And I'm Miss Amanda Marie. Love you all. Take care and God bless.
Hi, I'm Kathy, and thanks for watching Moonstruck. And now, back to A1R on the Air, Psychic Talk Radio, now on Moonstruck TV, enlightening television.
Good evening, you're listening to Modern Mystic Radio. I'm your host, Sarah, also known as Mystic Sarah in the UK on UK TV. Psychic Today is the show that I appear on. And you're also listening to A1R Psychic Radio, the world's #1 psychic radio network. If this is the first time you're tuning in, I'm just going to explain a little bit about how I work. I'm a psychic, have been all of my life, but working primarily for the last 27 years in the psychic industry. And I've gone through a real journey with my psychic ability and my psychic work. As many of you, who are sort of developing or on that spiritual pathway yourself, you will know how challenging it can sometimes be. We tend to go through, as psychics, as healers, as spiritual path seekers, we tend to go through really, really big emotional challenges. So as I've been going through my spiritual journey, because obviously I started very young, I started at the tender age of 17, what I found here is that because I started that work so young, I went through all those big challenges as I was going through my spiritual development. Sometimes it's the other way around. You'll go through all those challenges and you pick up your spiritual path a little bit later on in life. So today I'm going to be talking about this wonderful full moon in Sagittarius that we've got this Friday, and sort of telling you how you can work with that in terms of being able to manifest. And I'm also going to be talking about the law of attraction as well, and manifesting, because that's another area that I absolutely love and adore. I started reading about the law of attraction probably about 15 years ago, and I've read hundreds and hundreds of books and tried hundreds of different techniques to try and manifest what I was hoping for at that particular time. So it's an area that I do kind of work within. It's an area that I do specialise in. So if that's something you really want to sort of work with, your ability to manifest, that's something that I can help you with as well. So if you want to get hold of me outside of this, if you want to speak to me privately, why not visit my website, which is www.modern-mystic.co.uk, or you can find me on Facebook under Modern Mystic and also Mystic Sarah. And Twitter as well, if you want to get hold of me. Okay, so we have this full moon in Sagittarius, which I'm beginning to feel the energy of already. I'm a fire sign, so it is going to be affecting those fire signs out there, Aries, Leo and Sagittarius. And I feel like it's going to be a really, really powerful one as well. So what is Sagittarius good for? So Sagittarius works very well with any kind of legal matters, learning, study, or even teaching, writing, spiritual development, accessing the higher planes, accessing the Akashic records. So you can use the energy of the Sagittarian full moon for any of those aspects. So if it's, maybe even, trying to manifest, improving your ability to manifest. So how do I work with this full moon energy? So the colour that I would go for, if I'm using a candle here, would be either purple or royal blue. And what I would do is I tend to carve my intentions or my ideas out onto the candle. So, I use a very, very small candle here because I don't want it to burn all night long. So I like that, and then I start meditating, I start focusing and really trying to bring in whatever it is that I'm trying to manifest here. And that's all you really, really need to do. So spend some time with that gorgeous full moon energy and work with it. Allow it to amplify those intentions out, which is what I use the full moon for. So let's talk a little bit about the law of attraction and manifesting. Now, like I said before, I've been working with this for over 15 years. So I've read many, many books, but about 15 years ago, I found this book, a fantastic little book, called Cosmic Ordering by an author called Stephen Richards. And I tried it out. I read the book, tried it out, and I was absolutely flabbergasted. This, to me, probably was my first major breakthrough with the law of attraction. So when we look at, we can try affirmations, we can try vision boards and all sorts of different things, and focusing and concentrating, with real intent there. But sometimes that doesn't work. So you need to bear in mind that we're all individuals, and certain techniques will work for us perfectly and other techniques won't. So this is what I was finding, is getting real stumbling blocks with my manifesting. So I tried this book out, and it was very, very simple. The technique was incredibly simple. A few exercises to do beforehand, but basically what you do is you write your intention or request to the cosmos, to the universe, and you use very clean language, so very no negatives in there, so just positive statements. And I tried this out. I was looking for, at the time, another job. I was unhappy in my work, so I'd written down everything that I needed that job to have. So I wanted it to be nice and local to my home, bearing in mind I lived in quite a built up area. There wasn't really businesses around where I live. But I wanted to be so close that I could drop my daughter off to drop my kids off to school and still be in plenty of time for work, or maybe even walk to work. I specified my salary. I specified absolutely everything about the job that I could think of that I wanted. But because this was a new technique, and because I knew that I was looking for another job, I didn't want to just find myself with another job and think, oh, that's the law of attraction, it's worked. So I threw in a little bit of a wild card here into my order, and just to test out the theory. And this was so I'd be promoted within 1 week, period of 1 week, because I thought that's impossible, it doesn't happen. But if it does happen, then I know this particular technique called cosmic ordering does actually work. So I went for this interview. It was around the corner from where I lived. I was offered the salary that I wanted, the job that I wanted as well. And the interview was bizarre, because before I went into the interview, I had to sit a test, and it was a really, really hard test. It was all really, really heavy mathematics, because this was an energy company. And that's, you know, primarily sort of what they worked with. They worked out all the energy usages and everything like that. So I needed to have, you know, this great degree of maths to be able to have the job. And believe it or not, I actually failed the test completely. I didn't get one thing right. You know, I looked at these questions they're asking me, didn't get one thing right. So I failed the test completely. So in my mind, you're not going to get the job, but I was offered the job, you know, on the basis of the interviewer, the manager there said that they had just a really good feeling about me. And fundamentally, this is why people recruit. They recruit on that feeling, on that intuitive hunch that they get about you. So I started on a Monday, and I was in fact promoted on the Friday. Okay, so I got everything within that order, and I've done that quite a few times where I've been very specific with my orders. So if that's something that you are trying to do, if you've tried cosmic ordering or any other technique, you know, bear in mind that when we're trying to manifest, we're working with energy, we're working with vibration as well. So if you are trying to change your reality in quite a vastly different way, bear in mind we don't necessarily just step into that reality overnight, okay? So sometimes if it's a hugely different reality, so when I went from sort of working full-time as a single parent and wanting to start my own business, that's a massive jump here for me. So that's something I had to step into gradually by following the hunches and the signs that I was getting from the universe, really, really big signs. And if you are trying to manifest something quite big that is going to affect your day-to-day life in a massive, massive way, bear in mind that you can always ask for these signs as well, which is what I did. It's exactly what I did when I jumped from working full-time for somebody else to working for myself. And you know, it was a huge risk that I took, but it paid off. And that is what I put that all down to the law of attraction. You know, everything that I've been able to create and manifest, you know, has been done through, you know, a period of, you know, working hard with the law of attraction, working hard to change my energy, to change my vibration. Because fundamentally, you know, if you want to check what your vibration is doing and what energy you're sending out to the universe, because bear in mind, yes, you can be very specific, and yes, you can use visualization, and you can picture yourself doing this, and you can picture yourself doing that, but you've also got to have the feelings behind it, because that's what the universe pays attention to, is how you're feeling. So that vibration of the energy of your feeling on a day-to-day basis will determine what you're actually manifesting. Okay, so bear that in mind, and if you want to check what your subconscious is sending out there, have a look at your first thought and feeling when you wake up, because that will give you a strong indication of what your subconscious mind is actually up to. So it may very well be the case, as I experienced, that you can manifest something, but if your subconscious mind is playing maybe an opposing pattern here that might be, I don't know, built into you from day one, a pattern that perhaps you've carried, you know, from your parents and from your upbringing, then you need to really access that and become aware of what that pattern is so you can break it. And this is where, you know, I do a lot of work within my psychic work in terms of determining what those blocks and subconscious patterns actually are. And once you become aware of them, you stop doing them, you know, and stop falling into that trap. Okay, right, so I believe I've got my first caller here. Now, this is Rhonda from Pennsylvania. Hi, Rhonda, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Do you have a question for me tonight?
I do. This year has started off with a lot of changes, big changes.
Yeah.
And I just kind of wanted to know what else is coming, because I feel like something big is coming.
Okay.
Bigger than what's already happened, and I'm just very curious about it.
Right, okay, let me just have a look for you. I'm going to pull out some cards. This is looking, so it feels like this year has given you almost like a fresh start, where I feel like you've cleared so much stuff. It's like I've got you beginning again, you know, but it's like you I don't know, it's like you've got a clean slate. So you're starting this year off on a completely different footing, in a completely different situation, with completely different circumstances around you. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So what I get here, I feel like you're right, your intuition is correct here in terms of you sensing that there is something else to come in. Okay, because what I'm seeing happening for you, and I'm getting the summer months around this, so I want to say this month, July and August, are going to be particularly strong here for you. And this is all about you finally going up a level, okay? And I feel such an element of almost like creative energy around you, in creativity. Creativity and intuition is kind of screaming out here, and you feel like you are in a different, I want to say in a different place in life. That might even be literal. So have you moved here?
Excuse me?
Have you moved home?
No.
Yes. Yeah. So I feel like I've got you literally in a completely different vibration now. I want to say there are strong elements of almost like a spiritual development and spiritual growth, but I also feel that you're going to be given an opportunity that has a work kind of feel around it, but it's on a higher level than what you've previously been doing. I'm also getting a very strong indication of changes around love as well for you, love and relationships. So that seems to be going on to a whole new level as well. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. There's a huge change around work, stepping right through for the next 3 months, and also as we go into the month of September. So I wouldn't be surprised if you make a major leap forward around that, and also that major leap forward around the relationships. I feel like it's a very, very interesting energy that you've got at the moment, because it feels as though you're in the perfect framework, as it were, the perfect framework to be able to manifest a bigger and stronger future for yourself. I also get the element of travel as well coming in for you, but I get with you, it's almost like financial and personal abundance coming in. So I feel like your reality in that respect, yes, it's changed considerably already, but I feel like it's still undergoing change. It's still morphing. It's still you're still transitioning. You haven't quite. You think you've reached your new destination, but it feels like the universe has something much bigger and better planned here for you. That you could. How can I put it? It's almost like beyond your dreams. Okay, so it feels as though I'm getting you being catapulted forwards on many different levels with work, love and finances all starting to harmonise here. I feel like last year was that you did a lot of cutting away, if that makes sense. Cutting away of old patterns and releasing energy. At the moment, I feel like you're, it's like everything is kind of being suspended just as you settle a little bit into your new set of circumstances here. But I want to say within the next 3 months, there is a major jump forwards here for you that I don't even feel you're going to have to necessarily apply a lot of effort to. So if I go back here in your life, I feel that you've always had to put so much effort in. Does that make sense? You put so much effort into things, and for whatever reason, I feel like you've always struggled to kind of get what you want. However, I feel really from this year onwards, it's like all the brakes come off, all the blocks come off, and you're able to get to where you want to be and beyond. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah. Is there anything you would like to ask?
What was that?
Is there anything else you would like to ask?
No, I think you answered it all.
Okay. All right. Are you happy with that?
Yes, I am.
Okay, wonderful. Well, you have a lovely evening, and thank you very much for coming through tonight. And off she goes. So we have Charlene in Fall River, Massachusetts. Hi, Charlene, are you there?
Yes. Hi.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
I am good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Do you have a question for me, Charlene?
Okay, let's see. Okay. So, I'm going to speak as loud as I can. Alright. So, this is about this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You hear me? Alright. So, this is about this guy named Luke, and I want to know if he is in my near future.
Okay, let me have a look here. Right, I'm going to shuffle the cards. And let's just see what I have for you. Okay, let's have a look here. Now you have with this guy, you have a really, really strong soul connection here with him. But as I tune into your energy, because at the moment I feel like you're I don't know whether it's you and I don't know whether it's him, that seems to be a sort of, I want to say unclear, undecided around your connection. I feel like it's still, you're still finding your footing, you're still trying to work out what this is all about, but you are very aware that there is a big connection between the two of you. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, so let me just have a look. Right, this, if I tune into the energy of this, you know, to answer your question, I do feel that you know, they will be in your life, but I feel that it's almost like it's going to, I feel like it's a little bit tricky to kind of get it off the ground, because I feel that it kind of goes forward and then it steps back, and I feel like there's a lot of chopping and changing of the energy around this particular relationship. I feel, if I look at this, I want to say a little bit more time. I'm getting sort of around 4 weeks here with this. You'll see a stronger movement forwards here with this relationship. So I have got a definite love connection here between the two of you, and the emotions seem to be really, really powerful. And there seems to be, like I said, there's a real strong soul and spiritual connection between the two of you. And I feel this is about, there's two things that are kind of, I feel like both of you have had quite a lot of difficulty in terms of relationships in the past. Okay, so yes, you've got this really strong connection, but you both seem very cautious in terms of moving it forward or stepping into it or throwing yourself into it, you know, too early without being able to ascertain and work out whether both of you are on the same track, if that makes sense, or on the same pathway. I feel even though this is in its very early stages, I feel that you already have, you know, quite an intuitive connection here with them, and this is kind of looking to me as though we have a soulmate kind of connection here with them, or with, you know, between you and him. The number one thing that I feel is kind of pushing buttons, if you like, within this situation is, you know, your past experiences, and I feel like that is both making you both go quite slowly here. I feel, is there some sort of work connection between the two of you?
Can you expand on that?
Is there some sort of work connection or similarity between the two of you?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, because I get work tied into this, but you've also got the wish card. I keep on being given the number 3 around this. So I want to say within sort of either 3 weeks or 3 months, I feel like I've got this relationship moving forward in the direction that you would like it to be. Okay, so I'm seeing it go from what feels like quite an intense work connection to a very strong relationship. So your intuition is correct. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you. I'm nearly at the end of my show. I want to thank you for coming through. And I'm going to wish you a very, very lovely evening and a great week ahead. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much. And off she goes, and that has gone so quickly. I can't believe my show is nearly over. So if you want to get hold of me again, my website is www.modern-mystic.co.uk. There are links as well to my website on the A1R Psychic Radio Network website if you want to get hold of me. So I'm hoping you enjoy the full moon energy on Friday, and get manifesting your desires and your hopes and your dreams. So I'm going to thank you for listening. I'm going to thank the callers for coming through, lovely Charlene and also Rhonda, and hope you have a fantastic week ahead. Love and light to you all, and I shall see you same time next week. Bye for now.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
You are listening to Sensitive Soul Radio with Sheila Kay, and we are on Ask One Radio, the world's #1 psychic radio network, and also not forgetting Moonstruck TV. Now, I am super excited today because I have a guest for you. I have the lovely Anna Pritula, I hope I've said that right, from Canada. And hi, Anna, are you there?
Hello, Sheila, I'm here.
Hi. Brilliant. Okay, Anna. So you're a psychic medium. Is that how you would call yourself?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me how you work tell me a little bit about how you work as a psychic.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what it is you'd like to know. I do private readings, mostly by telephone. There are readings that I do in-person private sittings where I will work both on a psychic level and mediumistically, depending, of course, on what it is the client is looking for. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So when did you first realize that you were psychic? When did it kind of all come in for you?
You know, the truth is, I think I've always known. I was raised by, my mother is psychic clairvoyant as well, so I was raised that this is how everybody does things. It wasn't until I actually hit grade school and I found out not everybody does this that I realized this wasn't quite the norm. So it's really always been a part of my life, but not always something I've been open to or practiced.
Okay. So what sort of age were you when you decided to kind of go down the route of, professionally being a psychic? What sort of age were you, would you say?
I was in my 30s, actually.
In your 30s, right. Yes. Okay. And did you kind of have a normal job before that? Did you do normal things?
What's a normal job, exactly? I did. In fact, I was a systems administrator, so I was one of those nerds locked in a back room in a closet with computer systems and things. And And I would program office systems, and you know, when the computer at work crashes, and I'm the one on the other end of that phone that they would call to say, oh my gosh, the computers are down, could you please come and fix it? So that used to be my real job.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how do you work? If you're with someone, what is it that you actually do when you're with them? How do you actually work as a psychic?
There's a couple different ways that I'll do things. First off, I can have tools present. I can work either with or without tools. And when I say tools, I'm talking tarot cards or runes or sometimes a pendulum. It really depends on what the client is most comfortable with. But first off, I'll make a connection with them. And if they'd like, they can let me know what it is they're looking for in the reading. You know how that goes. Most often they'll say they want to talk on the subject of their romantic life or their professional life. And so from there, I will attune myself and make a connection between my own energy and theirs, and then start to, let's say, decipher the information that comes through. Right. For myself, a lot of the times I'll experience a knowing. I'll simply know what's going on with that particular aspect of their life that they're wanting me to focus on, and be able to give them some guidance and insight into the situation that they're wanting to talk about. So that's one way that I'll do things. I do remember there was one woman who called me for a reading just through an ad that I placed on a local message board where you can advertise. This woman had given me a call saying that a friend had encouraged her to have a psychic reading, but she didn't believe in this kind of thing. She didn't see how any of this could actually work. So she was one of those true skeptics that really wanted proof and evidence and wasn't going to move forward until we had kind of established that for her. So we spoke, and she definitely did not want to give me any information up front. So I made that connection and started talking about her as an individual and providing that evidence. And then suddenly I felt the presence of spirit, and it was her mother. And I said to her, I don't mean to touch on sensitive subjects. I know this is challenging for you, but your mother has recently passed away. Is that correct? And she kind of paused and said, well, yes, how could you know that? I said, well, your mother is letting me know that you were with her in the hospital in her last few moments, and the family had just stepped out of the room. Everybody was going to get coffee and a bite to eat, and you had volunteered to stay behind and sit with your mother so that she wouldn't be alone. You felt that your mother was unconscious, but they had told you, the nurses and doctors had told you, that speaking to her to let her know that there was someone in the room was a good idea. And she was really quite astonished that I knew that had occurred. And that's precisely what had happened when she was there in the hospital. So I was able to give her enough evidence that she was able to accept that it is possible for mediums to connect with individuals that have passed away and have a communication and pass on information. And she didn't believe that that was true. Her belief was simply, when we die, we're gone. That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
So to be able to provide that kind of evidence, to be able to give this woman the assurance that her mom's body may have died, but her soul did not. Yeah. And her soul is now present and has knowledge of things that have occurred since her death. So, really evidential from that perspective. I think it changed some things for that gal, and the fact is she still calls me today. We talk every few months to do a bit of a reading, and every once in a while she'll be able to have another visit with her mom. So, I've made, I guess, what we could call just a lifelong client. So
yeah, amazing. Yeah. Perfect. Right. So we do have a caller for you if you're ready, Anna. Perfect. We've got the lovely Marsha in Avon, Indiana. Are you there, Marsha?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'll hand you over to Anna.
Okay.
Hello there, Marsha.
Hello.
Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay. There might be a bit of a delay, so bear with things as the calls get routed, but what is it that you'd like your reading to deal with today, Marsha?
Well, I just wondered about my health and if there's a possibility of a relationship with someone because I'm awful lonely. And if there's anybody trying to talk to me from the other side.
Okay. Now, Marsha, I'm just going to say right up front, Please understand, my dear, that I am not a doctor, so you absolutely must consult the appropriate medical professionals where your health is concerned.
I do.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
Okay. So that being said, let's just feel into things a little bit here. Oh, my goodness. All right. So what I'm picking up on here, Marcia, is what I want to say, a tightness in my chest and a shortness of breath, and there's definitely an ache in the lower back. So you've been experiencing some pain, and you have some trouble when you're eating as well?
There has been, yeah, a little bit.
Okay. And, oh, my goodness, it would seem to me that you've tried, it's as though you've tried a few different things to get this resolved, and nothing really seems to quite hit the nail on the head. You've been struggling with this with some time. Does that make sense for you?
Yes, I'll just go ahead and tell you I've had a kidney transplant, and it's not taken totally well, and I just don't know what's going to happen to me.
I see. Okay. Well, Marcia, I'm so sorry to hear about the things that you've struggled with. And now I do believe it's been proposed that you may just have to go for another transplant. Is that correct?
Someday, maybe. Nobody's saying right now. They keep having hope, holding out hope that this will get me through for a while.
Well, my sense of the situation here, Marcia, is you definitely have some time to work with things. This isn't a situation that is going to go down the tubes, okay? So I don't feel like you're going to have to get yourself rushed to the hospital and have another transplant right off the bat, but it may be something you're going to have to take a look at a little further down the road. But it's
I knew that probably would,
Okay. Okay, so with that, you'll be able to muddle through, I think, for a little bit, but it's, and I have to say, the way it's looked for the past couple of months is probably what it's going to look like for the next little while, a few months at least. I'm so sorry, but that's what's coming through at this point.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
Well, thank you for saying so, my dear. I sure appreciate that. Now, you were wanting to also take a look at the possibility of a relationship down the road.
Yes.
What had come through for you was that you've been on your own for some time now, and that the last time you were involved in a serious relationship, there would have been something that happened that made you really struggle to open up and trust since then. Would that make sense for you?
Yes.
Okay. And you know what, hon, I'm not going to get into that because here we are in public radio and you just kind of don't need to have that aired out there, but I am really sorry for what you went through because I know that was a difficult struggle to heal from. And since then, even if you do meet someone, it's like you guard yourself very carefully because you just don't want to go through that kind of pain and difficulty again. Does that make sense for you?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Well, thank you for acknowledging that, Marcia. I appreciate that. Now, I can tell you, I am feeling that you are going to meet somebody that is worth getting to know. It's at least 2 months. I would have to put that at 2 months down the road now. But this gentleman, I'm feeling he's very close to your age. He'd be within 4 years of your age on the older side. And to me, he feels like he's a divorced individual. He would have 2 female children that are adults now. They're not older, but one is in their, I'm going to have to say late teens. The other is in their early 20s, no older than 25, you know, kind of 23, 24, I want to put the older one. So you're going to meet a gentleman like that. Now, he's going to be, well, you're not terribly tall, are you, my dear? You're close to my height. I'm 5'4". Would you be close to that height?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, this gentleman that's coming through for me, he's going to be taller than you. He's going to be close to that 6 foot mark. Not a basketball kind of guy, you know, but he's going to be a little taller. And I'm seeing a gentleman with what I want to call sandy blonde hair. He's clean shaven. He's got a bit of a rectangular face, so you don't like the beards and the mustaches, do you?
No.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing he's a clean shaven man then. Okay. So he's going to be a larger individual, you know, broader in the shoulders and just kind of a little bit, he's not a slender man, let's put it that way, okay? So that's a bit of a description for you to pay attention to. And I'm also going to be able to give you the name of Russ, okay? So I can't say for certain if that's going to be a first name or a middle name, my dear, but you can keep that in mind. And when you come across...
What did you call him? What did you say his name could be?
Russ. Short for Russell?
Russ? Russ.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Now, I have to say, you've got quite this wall built up around yourself, and this gentleman, he's going to be a little bit on the shy side. So when you come across this fella, I just want to say, let the guard down just a little bit and let yourself get to know him. You can be as cautious as you need to be, but he's shy enough that he's not going to impose himself. So if he comes over and says hello and you shut him down right away, chances are he's not going to be brave enough to try a second time. So just try your best to smile and say hello and see if you can have a conversation, okay?
Okay.
Okay. That's what I have for you, Marcia, my dear.
Okay. My dog Samantha that died last year, I was told by a medium that she'd be coming back in July. It's about 15 months ago. So you get anything on that before I hang up? The whole family's watching for her.
Okay, so you had a dog that passed away.
And she passed away last year.
Okay. And so when you say that somebody told you that they'd be coming back, you're talking in spirit. You're not talking about, you know, reincarnated as a puppy or anything like that, right?
They said that she'd be reincarnated in some kind of furry animal, and they didn't know what, and would be here in July of this year.
I understand. Okay. Now, I have to say that, now are we talking about, I'm not very good with my smaller breeds of dogs, but this feels like a smaller dog that you could hold in your lap with medium length kind of hair. Would that be right?
No, she was just a lab mix.
A lab mix, okay. Well, my dear, I'm afraid I can't confirm for you what the psychic said about the dog being reincarnated. I'm afraid I don't do a lot of work with pets coming back. So that's not an area that I would have a great deal of experience with.
Okay.
All right. I'm sorry I couldn't do more for you with that.
All right, and there's nobody needing to get a message through to me. I've got a cardinal. It's been at my window for 3 years. It will not leave. Before I hang up, there's nobody trying to get a message through.
In this moment, Marcia, I'm not feeling somebody from the spirit world connected with you, but they do often say that sometimes when the birds are very present, that it is family members coming to say hello. So it could very well mean that you've got someone from the spirit world who is saying hello to you through the cardinal. But here in this moment, I'm not feeling the presence of someone from the spirit world. I'm so sorry, Marcia, but I have to be honest about that.
Well, thank you very, very much. I appreciate the reading.
Oh, thank you so much, Marcia. Thank you, Marcia. Brilliant. Thanks, Marcia, for that, for calling in. That was lovely, Anna. Thank you.
Thank you
now, we do have another caller for you if you're ready. We have Jill. We have Jill in Dover Plains, New York.
Okay.
You there, Jill?
Hello.
Hi, Jill.
Hello there, Jill.
How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks, Jill. How are you?
Good. I'm fine, thank you.
Perfect. And you are calling us all the way from New York. I love how this is working because Sheila is all the way in the UK. I'm up in Canada, and here you are on the East Coast. So
yes, it's amazing.
It kind of is. So what is it that we can do for you today, my dear?
I was wondering if you can get a message from my son for me.
Okay. Do you mind telling me your son's name?
Peter.
All right. Okay. Now just feeling into that energy. Now, it hasn't been terribly long since Peter passed.
No.
Okay. And honey, just let me say that I am so terribly sorry for your loss. This was a difficult one that took you quite by surprise, it feels.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, Peter's coming through for me as, oh my goodness, he was quite the stubborn little handful, this young gentleman, isn't he?
Yes.
Does that make sense for you, him having a bit of a stubborn aspect to his personality?
Yes.
I feel, you know, Peter's definitely someone that had the need to go his own way if everybody was following a particular path. Just on principle alone, I think sometimes he would just need to do things his own way and not necessarily do what everybody else was doing. He was definitely a free thinker that way. Would that make sense for you?
Yes, very much so.
And, you know, even as a very young individual, exceptionally curious, needing to, you know, I know a lot of kids do this, take things apart, but he had this way of, not only would he take things apart, but he would figure out how they worked again and then figure out a new way for it to be better. He definitely had a, yeah. Oh, thank you so much for that confirmation. It comes through for me that he was always thinking. In fact, thinking so much, sometimes he would even, it's like he would get lost in thought to the extent that he would forget to sleep and eat. Does that make sense for me?
Yes, yes.
And the two of you would have had an exceptionally close bond. You're definitely his mom, and there was a great deal of respect between the two of you. He respected you as a parent, but I feel that he could talk to you as a friend, although you almost had to pull it out of him. He didn't necessarily volunteer. You'd have to get him talking. You had your way, but you'd have to get him talking before he'd open up. Would that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. You know, your son is definitely spending time with you, and it feels to me that now, I want to say there's something that you hold in your hand, and when you're holding whatever this is, you have a dialogue with him sometimes. It's like you still talk to him today.
Right.
It's like you have a sense of him being around you. Is that correct? Sometimes you can feel when he's with you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you've got, some people would describe it as that sense of the chills, or the hair standing up on the back of the neck. But for you, it's like you can feel a bit of a pressure where almost like the air around you gets a little heavy, and you can sense that his energy is close?
Right.
Okay, perfect. You've got some intuitive abilities of your own there, my dear, but when you are talking to him, he is hearing you. He's not, you're not hearing him back. And you've asked, you've asked for him to show you something to let you know that he's close and that he can hear you. Is that right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I have to tell you, he hasn't quite figured out how to do. Are you asking him to turn a light on and off? Is that it?
Yes, things like that. Because I don't trust my.
Okay. Okay. I understand, and he understands. But, I'm going to say this. Sometimes people in the spirit world, they have to teach themselves how to communicate and work with us the same way we have to develop the ability to do that with them. And your son would like you to know he doesn't quite have the know-how yet to turn the light on and off. But that feeling that you get when there's that pressure on your shoulders, and there was that you felt something where he touched you. You felt like there was a touch on your cheek?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So he's letting you know he can do that. So that touch, that wasn't, you weren't making that up. That wasn't your imagination. He's letting you know that he can be present that way and that he can let you sense him in that way. But right now, turning the lights on and off is a little bit much to ask of him. So he's going to make his presence known that way. And you would have woken not very long ago. Would you recall having a dream where you felt that you were with him and you woke up so startled to find yourself at home because you thought you had been talking to him?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So
I feel like I was just with him, too.
Yes. That dream that's him. You know what I can say is you actually did have the visit with him. So that's another way that he's in touch. It's apparently easier for the two of you to talk and connect when you're sleeping. So again, that wasn't a typical dream. That was indeed you connecting with your son that day. And he will continue to do that. And as well that where you feel like someone's brushing your arm and touching your cheek. And a couple of times, I do believe you feel that you heard him call your name, where you heard that word, hey, Mom?
The other day, I heard somebody call Mom like 3 times the whole day.
Yes. So those are the ways that he's giving you that sign to let you know that he's there, as opposed to playing with the lights and turning some other things on and off. He's not quite sort of the electrical stuff round, but he can definitely be connected with you in those other ways.
Oh, Anna, that was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for that. We're almost out of time now, so thank you so much for calling in as well. It's been absolutely lovely to hear the callers tonight, and also Anna as well. So thank you so much for being with us tonight, Anna. And that is almost it now. So if you want to get hold of myself, it's SheilaK-psychic.com or www.sensitivesoulwisdomcards.com as well, because I have the 2 websites now. So that's it for this week. It's been an absolute pleasure and lovely to have the Anna here, Anna as well. And that's it. So bye-bye for now, my beautiful sensitive souls. Bye.
Calls me googly eyes.
You know you're beautiful, right? You know that?
You are beautiful. I got bullied for wearing glasses. Share if you're against bullying.
We put it out there, just took off. 3 million people have shared this post. Don't let bullies get you down. I stand with you. My whole family's wearing glasses. I wear glasses and I'm proud.
I even have the army on my team.
All the kind comments brought my child joy. I don't feel thank you is enough.
Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size? Is the seat supposed to be forward-facing or rear-facing? Did they move to a booster seat too soon? It may be too late to it may be too late to check when you're on the road. Fortunately, you're on the couch. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Don't think you know. Know you know.
Hello and welcome to Messages from Above with Tony G on Ask One Radio, also on Periscope and Moonstruck TV. How amazing is that? So wonderful. So, if you want to connect with a loved one, call in now. Dial those digits. Come on. Deet, 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 deet. I know you have us on speed dial. Call in, get connected, and let's get some answers to your questions. I am so unbelievably grateful for all of these venues, mostly because they allow me to help you. Now, the work I do, I love it. It's my purpose. It's my passion. If I won the lottery, I would continue to work, maybe under a fake name, but I would continue to work because I love, love, love what I do. There is no better feeling than helping someone get resolution or